Hello students, welcome to the physics class of class 12. Our first topic for today is capacitance. A capacitance is an arrangement of two conductors separated by an insulating medium that is used to store electric charge and electric energy. Here is the symbol of fixed capacitor and variable capacitor. Principle of a capacitor. Here we consider a positively charged metal plate is bring in front of a uncharged metal plate B. Due to inductance, the front face of the metal plate B will appear negative charge and the other face will appear positive charge. Now this negative charge on the front face of the metal plate B try to reduce the potential of the plate A, but the positive charge on the metal plate B try to increase the potential of the metal plate A. As the negative charge is closer to the metal plate A than compared to the positive charge of the metal plate B, so the resultant effect of these charges of metal plate B on the metal plate A is a small reduction in the potential of the plate A. But if we ground the positive face of the metal plate B, then the positive charge of this metal plate B will go to the ground and only negative charge will be present in the front face of the metal plate B. So the reduction in the potential of the metal plate A will increase. Next topic, capacitance of a capacitor. The capacitance of a capacitor may be defined as the charge required to be supplied to either of the conductor of the capacitor so as to increase the potential difference between them by unit amount. Capacitance equal to charge on either capacitor by potential difference between the two conductors. C equal to Q by V. C is the capacitance, Q is the charge stored on each metal plate and V is the potential difference. SI unit of capacitance is farad. It is denoted by capital F. A capacitor has a capacitance of 1 farad if 1 coulomb of charge is transferred from its one conductor to another on applying a potential difference of 1 volt across the two conductors. Next topic, capacitance of a parallel plate capacitor. The simplest capacitor consists of two large plain parallel conducting plates separated by a small distance. Here in the diagram we see we have taken two parallel metal plates, each of area capital A. Separation between these two metal plate is D. Charge on this metal plate is plus capital Q and charge on this metal plate is minus capital Q. So the charge density here plus sigma and minus sigma here. Clearly we see plus minus capital Q equal to plus minus sigma into A, total charge on each plate. In the outer region above the upper plate and below the lower plate, electric field due to the two charge plate cancel out. The net field is 0, that is E equal to sigma by twice epsilon naught minus sigma by twice epsilon naught equal to 0. So in the above portion and the below portion, electric field produced by these two plates cancel each other and the total field is 0. The field present only between the two metal plates. In the inner region between the two capacitor plates, the electric field due to the two charged plates add up. The net field is E equal to sigma by twice epsilon naught plus sigma by twice epsilon naught equal to sigma by epsilon naught. So in this middle region, electric field E equal to sigma by epsilon naught. Now we know potential difference between the plates equal to electric field into distance between the plates. So we get V equal to E into D. E we know sigma by epsilon naught. So finally we get V equal to sigma D by epsilon naught. Capacitance of a parallel plate capacitor C equal to Q by V. Q into sigma into A. V sigma D by epsilon naught. So finally we get capacitance C equal to epsilon 0 A by D. So we find that the capacitance of a capacitor depends on area of the metal plates, that is C is proportional to A. Distance between the plates C is proportional to 1 by D. That means capacitance inversely proportional to the distance between the metal plates. Permittivity of the medium between the plates, C is proportional to epsilon. Next topic is series combination of capacitors. The figure shows three capacitors of capacitance C1, C2 and C3 connected in series. A potential difference V is applied across the combination. This sets up charge plus minus Q on the two plates of each capacitor. Here in the diagram we see three capacitors C1, C2 and C3 connected in series. A total voltage drop V is applied across this combination of the three capacitors. This will produce charge plus Q minus Q plus Q minus Q plus Q minus Q on the respective plates of the capacitor. Now we know in series combination the total potential drop across the combination is divided across each of the capacitors. So potential drop across C1 is V1, across C2 is V2 and across C3 is V3, and we get V1 equal to Q by C1, V2 equal to Q by C2 and V3 equal to Q by C3. For a series circuit, the sum of these potential difference must be equal to the applied potential difference. So V equal to V1 plus V2 plus V3. So we get Q by C1 plus Q by C2 plus Q by C3. So finally we get V by Q equal to 1 by C1 plus 1 by C2 plus 1 by C3. This is equation number 1. Clearly the combination can be regarded as an effective capacitor with charge Q and potential difference V. If Cs is the equivalent capacitance of the series combination, then Cs equal to Q by V, or we can write 1 by Cs equal to V by Q. So from this equation 1 and 2 we get 1 by Cs equal to 1 by C1 plus 1 by C2 plus 1 by C3. This is the equivalent capacitance formula for series combination of capacitors. Next, parallel combination of capacitors. In the diagram we see three capacitors C1, C2 and C3 are connected in parallel combination. A potential difference of V is applied to the parallel combination of the capacitors. So this potential V is equal across each capacitor C1, C2 and C3, but the charge appear on either of the capacitor will be different. Suppose on C1 capacitor charge is plus Q1 and minus Q1, on the C2 capacitor plus Q2 and minus Q2, and on the C3 capacitor plus Q3 and minus Q3. Now Q1 equal to C1V, Q2 equal to C2V and Q3 equal to C3V. Total charge stored in a combination, that means in parallel combination, is Q equal to Q1 plus Q2 plus Q3. We can write C1V plus C2V plus C3V. We taken V common, so C1 plus C2 plus C3 into V. This is equation number 1. If Cp is the equivalent capacitance of the parallel combination, then Q equal to CpV. This is equation number 2. Now from equation 1 and 2 we can write CpV equal to C1 plus C2 plus C3 into V. So finally we can write Cp equal to C1 plus C2 plus C3. This equation is the formula of equivalent capacitance for parallel combination of capacitance. Next topic, expression for the energy stored in a capacitor. Consider a capacitor of capacitance C. Initially its two plates are uncharged. Imagine that the positive charge is transferred from plate 2 to plate 1 bit by bit. Suppose at any instant the plate 1 and 2 have charges Q dash and minus Q dash respectively, as shown in figure A. Then the potential difference between the two plate will be V dash equal to Q dash by C. In the diagram we see that in the picture A, two metal plates 1 and 2 initially which are uncharged. Now bit by bit we transfer positive charge from this metal plate 2 to metal plate 1. Then this plate 1 will appear positive charge and on the plate 2 negative charge will appear. At a particular instant of time, we suppose that q dash be the charge on the metal plate 1 and minus q dash be the charge on metal plate 2. Now suppose a small additional charge dq dash be transferred from metal plate 2 to metal plate 1. The work done will be dw equal to v dash dq dash equal to q dash by c dq dash. Here we see a small amount of positive charge dq dash is transferred from the metal plate 2 to metal plate 1. So the charge on the metal plate 2 will be minus q dash minus dq dash. Now the total work done in transferring a charge q from metal plate 2 to metal plate 1, as we can see in picture 2, will be w equal to integration dw, integration 0 to capital Q, q dash by c dq dash. If we perform the integration, we have q dash square by 2c 0 to capital Q. Finally we get w equal to 1 by 2 q square by c. The work done is stored as a electrical potential energy U of the capacitor. So U equal to half q square by c, q equal to cv we know, so finally we get half cv square, and c equal to q by v we know, so finally we get half qv. So these are the formulas for the potential energy stored in a capacitor. Next topic is energy density of an electric field. Consider a parallel plate capacitor having plate area A and plate separation D. Capacitance of the parallel plate capacitor is given by C equal to epsilon 0 A by D. This we have proved before. If sigma is the surface charge density on the capacitor plates, then electric field between the capacitor plates will be equal to sigma by epsilon naught. So sigma equal to epsilon 0 E. Charge on each plate of the capacitor Q equal to sigma into A, surface charge density into total area of the plate. So the total charge on the metal plates of the capacitor capital Q equal to epsilon 0 E into A. So energy stored in a capacitor is, we have did this formula before, U equal to q square by 2c. So capital Q is, we know from this formula, is epsilon 0 E into A. So epsilon 0 E into A whole square by 2 into C means epsilon 0 A by D we get from here, from this equation. So finally solving this calculation, we get energy stored in a capacitor U equal to half epsilon 0 E square into A into D. Now AD, the volume of the capacitor between its two plates. Therefore the energy stored per unit volume or the energy density of the electric field is given by U equal to U by AD, half epsilon 0 E square. This is the energy density of the electric field between the plates of a capacitor. Thank you for today.